Professional as ever.
Guys, this is the most embarrassing thing. I was so proud of that intro. I worked so hard on
Do
that
your
intro.
intro again. Do your intro again. It was good.
No, they don't have to endure it again. Guys, if you're watching this later, I've had to repost this live stream because I accidentally disabled the chat. I don't know how that happened, but we're here, we're back, and this is, more for anyone who's going to be watching later in time. Today we are talking about the speculation, the possibility of an AP collaboration with Swatch. Our AP and Swatch teaming up, an AP Royal Oak Moon Swatchified. Because that's how it's looking right now. So I did a wrist check in our previous one, but I'm going to do it again here. And I want to know, now that the chat is working, what are you guys wearing? Tell us where you're watching from, what's on wrist. I am wearing my Tag Heuer Formula One. I've been wearing it all week. It's just, once it's out, it's so easy to choose. It's so easy to wear. And on my other wrist, I am wearing, of course, a moon swatch because we're talking about the possible moon swatchification of the AP Royal Oak. Watch Poppy, James, my fabulous co-host. Do you want to redo your wrist check?
I will do my wrist check, but I won't flex again. I got grief from my friends in Sweden, Boo and Lydia and Brittany, for flexing. I'm wearing a Tudor Black Bay VCAB 24, the blue dial version with the ceramic case, and it's on a Garmin strap, which keeps it nice and snug to the wrist.
So only for the people who were in the original live stream, you guys are the only ones who will have seen the epic flex. And James, we've already got a super chat coming in, $2 from John. Thank you so much. Britt had us in a Rolex waiting list. Yeah, kind of the comment section equivalent. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, for anyone who's just joining, this is what we're talking about today. I'm going to quickly try to share my screen. Now, James, my Instagram was going crazy with this, and I know yours was too.
Yeah, I think I spotted it before you because you were filming at the time. But yeah, there's been several sort of guesses, shall we say, or speculation around what it might be. Some people are doing the full Royal Oak look with the integrated bracelet in, I was going to say plastic then, but it's bioceramic, isn't it?
So, not plastic, bioceramic.
And then we can see on the screen there, a lot of people are talking about potentially a pocket watch. I think that might come from it being a pop swatch. So the pop swatches of the 90s, maybe even the 80s, I'm not sure when it came out, but the original ones, they were very much like you see on the screen there with the crown at 12 o'clock, and they fit into a almost like horseshoe shaped case that was on a elastic bracelet or strap, and then it would pop in and out, hence pop swatch. So you could put it in your pocket as a pocket watch, or you could put it on your wrist on the elastic band. So there's precedent from Swatch for that style of watch that we're seeing on the screen right now. There's a lot of people that are saying it could be a full Royal Oak interpretation by Swatch.
Yeah, I've got some pictures of that as well. Let me put it up. And anyone who tunes into my live streams regularly will know I'm horrible at my screen shares. So I'm so sorry if it's a bit clunky. But yeah, a few people have been predicting something like this, like a moon swatch interpretation of how a Royal Oak just looks. Now, I've heard a lot of people and industry people as well saying it's going to be more like this. It's going to be, going to be more like this. It's going to be the pop swatch interpretation of the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're right? No, but I definitely trust the people who are telling me it's going to be something like this.
But do they definitely know, or is it just them speculating and you're taking their word for it because they're industry insiders or people that are closer to the AP brand? So we've got a good friend who's he's got Royal Oaks. He's quite close to AP. He gets a lot of, and he's got things right in the past, more often than not. A lot more often than not. So he has it on good authority that they are releasing something, and it is going to be of the pocket watch ilk.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be of the pocket watch ilk. It's going to be something that's on a pendant or something like that. And there might be a watch version later. So I think you can kind of see it on this one. So there's like an option to put it on strap, but maybe comes like a pendant first. I don't know. For right now, it's really, really just speculation. Really quickly, go to super chat. Super chat. Abdul is here. Hello. Thank you ever so much. He says, this is going to be a fad, and I'm all for it. P.S. Remind me to never offend James. I think he must be referring to the gun show that you just gave us.
Oh dear. I'm not going to live that down, am I?
You know,
I'm just sat here in my pajamas, doing Brittany a favor.
You love it. You're not doing me a favor. You love coming on live stream and talking about watches.
So it's interesting that they've chosen to go with the pocket watch. There's been a bit of a precedent recently of brands releasing pocket watches. Richard Mille have done one, Hublot have done one, Studio Underdog. Was it Studio Underdog or was it Christopher Ward? Was it
I don't remember if it was a collaboration between the two of them.
I think it was for British Watchmakers Day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly very popular. Again, on a leather strap, a little bit like that. Really, really nice watch. But yeah, who knows? And what's the date this is due out, Britt?
Saturday the 16th, I believe. So we are talking about maybe going to London, getting a hotel, and like being there for the mayhem. I'm not sure if they're trying to build up another Moon Swatch moment, but if anything, Swatch is great at creating a little bit of hype, a little bit of excitement, because this is stirring up something right now.
Yeah, what does the chat think? Are we going to see the cues that we saw for the Moon Swatch?
Yeah, let us know. And really quickly, we got a super chat from Tim Wright, the one and only, the live stream godfather. Really, when I think of watch live streamers, I think of you. Britt, does a plastic AP create future Royal Oak buyers or destroy the exclusivity that made AP special to begin with? I'd love to know your take on this first, James, because I definitely have a take.
I think it probably leans more to destroying the exclusivity that AP made. But if they do something that's quite unique, like the pocket watch, that's far enough away from the Royal Oak, I mean, it's not a collaboration, but you've got things like the Casio that are very similar to a plastic Royal Oak. The people that are buying those aren't necessarily going to be trying to buy a Royal Oak. Some probably do, but you know, there's certainly a market for the G-Shock that looks like a Royal Oak. I think there'll be a huge market for this. I don't think it's going to soften the Royal Oak brand. I think the Audemars Piguet brand. I think AP are trying to be a bit more fun. They're trying to be a bit more youthful. They're trying to sort of step away from being that Trinity brand that are sort of stuffy and for men in suits. Don't know. What do you think, Brett?
You touched on some of the things that I think. I'm not sure if this is meant to create future Royal Oak buyers. Like, I don't know necessarily if it's bound to those two options. I think this is going to get people very excited about AP. It's going to get them very excited about Swatch. And I think that's what this collaboration is more wanting to do. Swatch or Audemars Piguet, like you were saying, James, does some experimental weird stuff. So I think of some of their ceramic weird watches that I really love, and I can't afford any of these in my wildest dreams. If I did a lot of saving and, you know, sold some watches, I could get a Royal Oak or something like that. But this makes a certain style that certain people will like more achievable. And if nothing else, it will be another cool, fun moment like the Moon Swatch was.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the Moon Swatch has softened the Omega market? You brought videos out, several videos relatively recently that have said that Omega is struggling. Do you think the co-branding with the Moon Swatch has affected them at all?
No, I don't think it's affected them at all. I think that's just poor Swatch management. I just think
Just a
that's
coincidence.
I think that's Swatch Group mismanagement. I don't think it has anything to do with the Moon Swatch. I think if Swatch Group was up during that time, which they were, it is because Swatch started performing really, really well relative to how they had been. So I think, if anything, if nothing else, this will be great for Swatch. I think it will also be very good for AP. Like, even when you think of, and I know it's really hard for us to think back to this time because we're all kind of fogged with how we feel about the Moon Swatch now. But if we remember how excited we all were for the Moon Swatch when it first was announced and when we first started speculating, like we are here, everyone was hyped. Everyone was so excited. And even like my non-watch friends were saying, "Hey, have you heard about this, Brit? What is this?" And they were hearing about Omega and the Speedmaster for the first time ever. And I wonder if AP is wanting to do a similar thing.
Yeah, several of our friends have now got Moon Swatches and are looking at buying, not necessarily Omegas, but it has introduced them or moved them away from Apple Watches that they wore before or smartwatches and move them into the realms of actual mechanical watches. So, I mean, that's a very small sample group, but it certainly, in our experience, has introduced people to actual wristwatches beyond the things themselves.
We've got the super chat, and Robert Wood Audio, $2, agrees with us. I think he says, "I think it introduces the brand to normal people," which perfectly summarizes everything we've just tried to say in a lot more words. So I think that's what AP would be hoping to get out of the partnership, is more normal people knowing their names. And it's really funny. I'm working on a Patek and Vacheron video right now, and working on what Patek is doing right now. And I think they're doing the exact opposite. I think they're trying to become more exclusive. They want to become less mainstream. They want to be more if you know, you know. And it seems like AP is going the absolute other direction. They want to be like, I think everyone should know our names, know that we're really fancy, cool guy watches, and they're no strangers to a bit of hype.
Does this reduce the fanciness?
I don't think so. But I don't think the Moon Swatch took anything away from the Speedmaster Moonwatch. I think it just made something that people loved more achievable. And if they played it better than they did, it also just could have been a really happy enthusiast moment.
I think it upset a lot of Omega people, a lot of people that collect Omega. I think it upset them, judging from the comments I've seen in forums, etc. Whether this will do the same, I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. And AP people are like a different breed.
True.
I don't know. Would it upset you?
No, not at all. No. If I had several Royal Oaks, I'd still buy one of these. I think it's fun. And I bet I thought the same about the Moon Swatch. I think it's fun. Yeah. Cool colors. Yeah. I think we've got another super chat, which is going to hit on something else I wanted to talk about. Do we still? Well, I'll let you read the super chat out.
No, you read it. I've been talking so much.
I believe it's introduced the brand to non-watch people, so that is good. Yeah. However, I will not consider them Holy Trinity anymore. So, James.
Ooh.
It's a tricky one. I've seen a lot of APs that have made me question whether they should be in the Holy Trinity anyway. When you look at a lot of the movements under loops, although they are Geneva sealed, they're not quite up to the standard that you would see looking at a Vacheron or a Patek or other brands that have got Geneva seals.
I have heard you describe an AP movement as diabolical. And I quote.
Yeah, but it was quite an old one, and I don't know how many times the back had been off it and which watchmaker had their sticky little fingers in there. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, it was very poorly finished.
Yeah, I think James MCA with the super chat. Oh, this is a cold take. Now, what's interesting about AP is that they've never been afraid to evolve with the times. I think they're a brand that like has their finger, they're seeing which way the winds are blowing, and they're not afraid to change and pivot. And that's something I really respect about them as a brand. I mean, the Royal Oak is the best example of this, and it created the genre that we still all talk about today and is still one of the most coveted watch genres. I wonder if once again, they have their finger in the air and they're thinking, the winds are changing. The vibe is different. And how do we be relevant in this vibe? And to me, that's very Holy Trinity. But I've got a soft spot for AP. All right, we've got more super chats. We'll get through these super chats because I do have more to say as well. Tim right back with $4.99. Thank you so much. If AP does a Royal Pop, I also like this name as well. What stops Patek or Rolex from eventually doing the same thing to chase the younger buyers?
Tim, Patek are already chasing the younger buyers with a cubitus. And look at that. Look what a success that's been. That's, yeah. Actually, a plastic cubitus would be hilarious. A plasticus.
Could you imagine if they did a bioceramic, James? A bioceramic?
Sorry, bioceramic cubitus. Yeah.
Now, I don't think Patek would ever do this. I don't think they would ever jump on it. It is so not their style, in my humble opinion. I mean, who knows where Thierry would guide this? Well,
wasn't he rocking out in the Leopard Lounge with all the younger guys with his shirt buttons undone, Simon Cowell-esque? And not that you saw it, but you heard it.
I did hear that through the grapevine, and I did see photos.
So maybe he is trying to get in with a younger crowd. Maybe we are going to see a bioceramic cubitus in the future. Rolex, I can't see Rolex doing it. No, they're too staid. I can't see either of them doing it. I
was going to say, and you think Patek isn't too conservative and
yeah, I do.
Slow moving. Yeah, I don't see either of them doing it, although nothing would stop them, which actually kind of reminds me of something I wanted to talk about as well. Because, and I don't know if how you felt when you first started seeing these. So James, at first I thought it was fake.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, why on earth would AP collaborate with Swatch? Especially when I saw some of the marketing Swatch was coming out with, it seemed like maybe they were trying to get people excited, get them speculating, but it wasn't actually gonna be with a Royal Oak.
It almost felt like an April Fool's joke, April Fool's Day joke, but 2 months too late. I do wonder, it has crossed my mind, is there some sort of corporate buyout going on? A Swatch looking to buy AP, and this is the signaling, this is the soft launch?
That would be insane. And yeah. I don't think that's happening.
Well, Richemont's got Vacheron.
Oh, that would be insane. So I don't even want to indulge this idea. Oh my goodness. When I saw it, I thought it was all fake until I started seeing some of the leaked pictures and the mock-ups. Then I started to believe it was true, because Swatch always leaks.
Are they leaked pictures or are they just mock-ups? I've not seen anything where anybody's claimed it's a leaked picture. Have you?
I've seen people taking pictures of things out of magazines and newspaper ads.
It could be AI. ChatGPT.
It could be. I believe it though. I really, really believe that this is happening. And I believe it's going to be the one I have on screen right now.
Okay, interesting.
But and the next reason I thought maybe this is fake as well is kind of touching on what Tim Wright was just saying, is because AP isn't a part of Swatch.
No.
It's Swatch Group. I should be saying. So I thought, you know, maybe this isn't happening. But just because they had only done collaborations within the group before doesn't mean they're bound to that they can't ever change, that they can't ever talk to people outside. It reminds me a little bit of Studio Underdog and Moser.
Yeah. That hasn't been terribly successful though, has it? I think this will be a lot more successful. I think this is, if this is real, this is going to make the Moon Swatch frenzy look like, I don't know, a walk in the park. It's going to be, ooh,
Those are
some digital watches going off in here.
My G-Shocks go off at certain times. James is in my office right now, and we've got another super chat, $9.99 from Walter Chakraborski. Thank you ever so much. Do you think they will be sold on AP's website? No, I think they'll only be sold on the Swatch website, and they might even have a whole separate tab. Like on the Swatch website right now, there's a whole separate tab for Moon Swatch. But in the same way, Moon Swatches weren't sold on the Omega website, I think it would be a Swatch only thing, and then AP would receive some kickback from it, would be my guess. What do you think, James?
I don't think AP sell any watches on a website, do they? They sell it. Yeah, they don't have that function in their website. Certainly not in the UK anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat if you can buy an AP from AP's website in the US or elsewhere in Europe or the rest of the world, but no, I can't see it happening. Yeah, so that's the other one I saw a lot of. And that looks, yeah.
This is the one I thought was a leak. That was the one where I thought, okay, this is real. This is the one that convinced me. But it is very different from what I think is going to happen from what other people have told me.
Yeah.
I just have had enough industry insiders, like people who
all
are
the insiders are saying Pocket Watch, aren't they?
Say again.
All the insiders are saying, I'm doing air quotes here that nobody can see, are saying Pocket Watch.
Yeah, all the industry insiders I know. So even people who are really close to AP, people who work in Switzerland, work for different brands, and that's as specific as I will be, have been saying this is what we're going to see, which is fascinating. And I'd be really curious with the chat as well. Would you guys buy this? If this is real, if this is happening, would you buy this? Would you be interested? And do we think there's going to be queues? Do we think there's going to be giant lines again?
Well, let's put a price point on it then. If we think this is what's coming out, what's the price point? What do we think it's coming out at? Similar to the Moon Swatch, more or less?
It has to be more than the Moon Swatch.
Why?
Just because of the brand prestige of AP. You would think. I don't know. And maybe they could say, oh, it's a pocket watch, so it's extra special and different.
And what movement do we think it's going into it? One of the System 51s or?
This was the next question I had. So if this is real, what I have on the screen right now, it's a two-hander. So if it is quartz, it won't feel like the end of the world. You won't be seeing that quartz hand tick.
Mm.
And they do have quartz Royal Oaks. So
our friend Lydia's got one, a very beautiful one.
Mm-hmm. The very beautiful Lydia with the very beautiful Royal Oak. Yeah. So I would guess it will be quartz, and I would guess the retail price in British pounds will be $389.
Okay.
What do you think it will be?
I was thinking sort of Moon Swatch price, but then I don't really know what the Moon Swatch was. Was that about 300?
250. I think they're 250 or 240.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be similar to that. 250, maybe 300, 299, something like that. But
guys in the chat, I'm trying not to drink midweek. I'm trying to watch how much alcohol I drink, and it just makes me feel a bit sluggish. So I'm on a fancy tonic water, but just drinking tonic right now. And we've got another super chat. James, do you want to read this one?
Albertus Magnus, 44, $5. Thank you so much. I think the concept of a holy trinity of watches is one whose time has passed. I have an Omega Constellation. The AP by Swatch is fine with me. There you go.
I love it. I'm still into the Holy Trinity, and I feel like I've defended the Holy Trinity as it is right now, but I don't think anyone's on my side with it.
So why do you think the Holy Trinity should stay? It's just a marketing term, isn't it?
Yeah, to me, it just marks how brands are positioning themselves. To me, the Holy Trinity and the three brands we associate with the Holy Trinity, Patek, Vacheron, and Audemars Piguet, just represent the tippy top of mainstream watchmaking. The
In
tippy
Switzerland.
Say again?
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland, the Swiss.
It's a Swiss marketing thing.
The Swiss mainstream.
It excludes Maurice Grossman, it excludes Hang and Line, it excludes Elang & Sonner, it excludes Credo. It's, yeah.
You know, you're right. You're exposing something within me. I am a marketing victim.
Well, I think if the chat were being honest, most people, myself included in the chat, are oh, the moon swatch was okay with him, right? Got it. Sorry, Albertus. Yeah, get it. He's an Amiga owner. Moon swatch is cool. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It was just a fun little thing. You can have both. You can have one. Who cares? I mean, it doesn't threaten your product just because a bioceramic one came out. That's really fun, and then more people can afford it. I just thought it was a fun thing that made things more available. Yeah. We've got another super chat. We've got a few super chats to catch up on. Guitar Piper, $5. Thank you so much. Hard to imagine a $500 plastic watch could ever devalue a high luxury status piece. I was going to spend 40K on the AP, but now I don't need to.
Exactly. Yeah. If anything, the people that are going to go out and buy a $40,000 AP would probably then go down to the Swatch store and buy one of these as well. It's just a bit of fun. It's a fun thing, perfectly timed for summer. I think it's going to be mega popular. I think it's going to, if it's real, I think it's going to fly out.
Yeah, and if you've got a $40,000 AP, I mean, you've got to be pretty secure in yourself. It's fine. This is just a fun, different thing. Of course, it doesn't devalue this amazing watch that I have.
I've got a friend who's got a number of APs, a number of Rolex, a number of FP Jones in his collection, and he went out and queued for and collected every single color of moon swatch, the original ones. He just loved them. Yeah.
That's so dorky and wonderful. I love it. We've got another super chat in the finest currency in all the land, Canadian dollars.
What's Ca?
Canadian dollars. Phantom Observer. Is anyone else thinking Swiss Cassie Oak? Very true. Very true. So this is referring to the Cassie Oak, the GA2100, which looks kind of Royal Oak-ish, but now Switzerland is taking it back. I never heard that.
Sorry, I was going. Carry on.
No, what were you saying?
I was going to say, there was, I'm sure, a number of years back, there was a thing that apparently Audemars Piguet were trying to stop the use of the term Cassiope. They didn't want people saying that the Casio was a Casio and associating it with their brand. Obviously, this was under a different CEO, but and I don't know how true that was, but that's certainly what I'd heard from several inside sources again. So yeah, interesting that they've then gone, oh, they are allegedly going to go and do this now. But maybe they had this in mind all along, and that's what they were trying to protect. Who knows?
And this is a good thought as well. I don't think it would be protecting this idea. I don't even think the moon swatch was thought of at this time. I think one good idea to think of as well is Ilaria Rusta is their current CEO, and the way she thinks is very different. So I wonder how much this is her involvement as well. We've got another super chat. Tim Wright, $4.99. Has social media turned luxury watches from symbols to craftsmanship into mass marketing hype products chasing relevance?
I don't think so. Social media turned luxury watches from symbols.
So has it turned them from symbols of craftsmanship into mass marketing hype products.
No, I think if anything, social media has introduced more people to watches. It's a bit of an echo chamber. So watch social media, the only people that really know about it are other watch nerds. You know, algorithms feed what you're looking for anyway. So you might think, oh my God, all I'm seeing is all these hype watches. All I'm seeing is this, that, and the other. But it's because you are searching for that type of thing. So the algorithm knows the sort of things to feed you. So you then sit there thinking, there's so much social media about watches. People I work with have absolutely no clue about anything to do with watches, including the social media side of it. So I think it does create hype, but it creates hype within people that are already into watches.
Yeah, and I also think social media means so many different things on different platforms. So what is exciting and hype on Instagram is often very different than what's exciting and hype on YouTube. And I can see differing opinions. There's like 2 different audiences on different platforms. I don't know what happens on TikTok, but maybe similar things are happening there as well. As James said, I agree. I think it is an echo chamber. I think especially, I think there is an element of hype. And I don't know how much of it is social media's fault or humans' fault or just what's happening. I think hype is an element, but I think social media on the whole, overall, is a net positive to our community and to watch collecting and to introducing people to watches. And even without watch social media, my life would be so much poorer. Like, I have made some of my best friends, my closest friendships. Lydia Winters, who's in the chat right now, she and her partner Vu came to my 30th birthday. There are people we know through watches who came to our son's christening. Like, it has been such a net positive in my life. And it's just finding the right people in the right communities.
Mm.
We've got more super chats. We've got so many. We've got super chat. Under the Cuff is here. Hello. $1.99. AP owners will buy it as a mark of self-irony.
I think Under the Cuff is actually where I saw this first on his Instagram. He was the first one that I saw with these mock-ups, whatever we're calling them.
So real fanboy here. Real fanboy of Under the Cuff. Lydia Winters, our gorgeous friend, is saying she has a Royal Oak and will probably also think that this is fun. Agree. Totally. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on all the super chats. Thank you so much, guys. This is incredible. Paz to you, $5 super chat. Great discussion. It's more detailed and thoughtful analysis than what was put out. Oh no. Don't worry about that. Sometimes, people make things really quickly, and that's how these things work. But yeah, I have been putting a good deal of thought into this, and it's still just a speculation right now. Oh, we've got an everything bagel for $5. O'Sheen's everything bagel, $5. Thank you so much. Thanks for insider info and insight. I think it will a pendant type will be a pendant type product as well. Yeah, always appreciate your content. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying what's happening here. Let's put the pendant back on, actually, because James, as well, I've been doing a bit of research into this because, obviously it's exciting. And wanted to look. So this is the AP website. This is straight from the horse's mouth.
So that handset I've seen on some of the mock-ups. I don't think it was on that one you just had up, but I've seen that exact handset. Yeah, that's interesting. So
I wonder if they are referencing this as well. So this is the model or reference 5691. And this is the first Royal Oak specific pocket watch. So we were talking about precedents for Swatch with the Pop Swatch.
Yeah.
And there also is the same precedence for AP.
Yeah.
And I wonder how it will look and be handled. I don't know. Because if we have this inspiration, this kind of looking thing, but now in bioceramic.
Yeah. What's people's thoughts on pocket watches in general? We've had them recently from Richard Mille. We've had them from Hublot. We've had Patek brings one out usually rare handcrafts in every Watch and Wonders.
A few.
Extortionate prices.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous, but yeah. What do people in the chat think? Would you use a, like, you can't say, do you say wear or do you say use a pocket watch? Would you use a pocket watch? Would you, Britt? It's very Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. I don't think I would ever wear one and use it like in that sense. It would be more of a beautiful object that I wanted to have. And correct me if I'm wrong, James. I think pocket watches is where brands try to play around with complications a little bit, or cram as many complications in as they can.
Well, it certainly gives you a bigger platform to get complications in, yeah. So you can, you've got like the Space Traveler and things like that, and is it Vacheron brought one out last year?
Most complicated watch, yeah.
Can you remember how many it had? You were there, weren't you, when they launched it?
Oh man, I don't remember the number. I remember it was insane.
You got that picture with what's the chops in the background, didn't you?
Ilaria Resta. So I was filming it at the Vacheron booth, just thinking nothing of it. I was looking at the watch, filming it, putting it on Instagram, and then this post started going viral because everyone was saying, BP, Brits, Watch Gring is posting Ilaria Resta.
It was one of those right time, right place moments that you didn't even realize had happened. And then, yeah, I think she just was caught off guard and wasn't smiling, but it just looked,
she looked very unimpressed with it. But I would have never posted that had I realized, because I think the world of Ilaria Resta.
Yeah. It's more likely that she just spent a whole day on her feet and was exhausted, the same as everybody else at Watches and Wonders, and she just happened to be caught out. But
oh, we've got another super chat. James Blonde is here with £2. It might be good for Watch Fam, but bad for AP. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still defending my original position in that I think it will bring good awareness to AP. I think Watch Fam will get excited, and I think non-watch people will maybe discover more about a pretty storied watch. I guess that's best case scenario, though. I think I might be very optimistic about it.
No, I can see it. I can see that. It'll certainly give people an interest, I think, to go looking. Okay,
we're catching up on the super chats. I'm so sorry, guys. Super chat from the original OC, $9.99. And I had the fabulous pleasure of seeing OC out in Geneva. We were both there for Watches and Wonders. He says, sending all the viewers of my original OC channel live stream over here. Stop it right now. Thank you so much. And welcome, original OC watchers as well. Come on through. Thank you so much for that. Have we caught up? No. This might be the last one. Do you want to do this one, James? I feel like I've just been...
Toyota Mo, $4.99. Great stream, Britt. Keep up the great work. And I'm really happy seeing your channel subscribers organically grow. Thanks so much, Toyota Mo.
Thank you. I know. I can't believe how fast this channel is growing. It's shorts. If anyone here who's watching, listening, is a content creator, if you do want more subscribers, shorts, man. Yeah. They're crazy.
Yeah. They just seem to drive engagement and subscribers.
Yeah, if I look at my analytics, my most watched video every month will be 2 shorts that I made in 2023. They're still just but that's neither here nor there. No one cares. That's inside baseball. We've got super chat, $5. Thank you so much. When will brands put effort into cool watches for folks with smaller wrists? Wouldn't I love to know? We have so few options that aren't quartz, pastel, and covered in jewels.
Yeah, I think Neo Vintage is your friend there. Was talking to Britt about Patek 5000s earlier today. 33mm, absolutely beautiful watch. But yeah, we were promised a drift back to smaller watches that doesn't seem to have materialized. So Watches and Wonders didn't really. Yeah, but the Swiss are so slow. The slow glacial in their evolutions that. Yeah, it's going to, even if it does come, I think it's going to be a number of years yet. But hopefully, smaller watches are making a return. I don't have mega small wrists, but I do like smaller wrist watches where you can see either the strap or the bracelet. It's not just watch head sat on your wrist.
Yeah, there's just not enough. Like, there are ones that immediately come to my mind as like, oh, this is a cool smaller watch, but it's just such a small list for us versus the normal wrist and larger wrist crew. I think, like you said, Neo Vintage is your friend. And this is one of the reason the Itty Bitty Wrist Committee loves Rolex. I hate defending Rolex. It brings me no joy, but they do so many great size options, always mechanical.
You had a lot of love for Moser this year, didn't you? And the streamliners they brought out in smaller sizes.
Yes. It was one of my favorite watches of Watches and Wonders. So they introduced a streamliner. Oh gosh, what size was it? Was it 33?
I think there's two, wasn't there? Two, like a mid-size and then an even smaller one. But you keep talking, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, if James looks up the actual numbers, it's really tricky because the integrated bracelet does make it feel a little bit bigger than it is. But they introduced a streamliner and they made no sacrifices. The movement is fantastic. The wearing experience is great. Even Longa this year, they did the smaller annual calendars. Really, really cool. But still, we're still talking about things that are the exception and not.
The streamliners are 28 and 34mm.
Okay, 28 and 34. Yeah. Anyways, we got to keep moving. Oh, we got so many super chats. Thank you so much, guys. This is crazy. We've got Tim Wright back in there again, $4.99. Thank you so much, Tim. Tim's really like controlling the conversation. He's got all these great questions. Are luxury brands preserving heritage anymore? Or Tim, you should have a podcast. These are like whole podcast episodes. So
it's almost like you should have a live stream, Tim.
Yeah, where you could do like a long form content.
Yeah.
He asks, are luxury brands preserving heritage anymore? Or are they slowly sacrificing prestige for viral relevance and quarterly growth?
I think they are digging back into their heritage, but not necessarily preserving it. What they're doing is they're updating it and modernizing it. But they are certainly, especially now, I think there's a lot of pressure from boards and groups to hit that bottom line. More and more brands are part of conglomerates and they have boards that need to be kept happy, shall we say. So yeah, they are always looking for that next thing, that next bit of marketing, that next story to tell. There's a lot of building a narrative around a brand going on, and they're not all getting it right at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess my question would be, even for the beginning of your question, are luxury brands preserving heritage anymore? And is that what they're supposed to be doing in the first place? Are we supposed to be museums of what was, or actually creating good products now? And one of the things that there's a real part of me that loves history and loves the history element of watches, and I think it's beautiful. But I think brands scramble to try to find some historical link to something because they think that's going to sell a watch or that will justify making something now. When a lot of the watches we're the most excited about, the AP Royal Oak being one of them, were watches that were new at the time and they didn't feel like they needed to justify it in something else. They said, let's create something new. And these are still the products that we love and we're very, very excited by. So I wish brands could just be quite satisfied with creating something new for the sake of creating something new because it's a good product and we think you'll like it. I think, as James was talking about conglomerates, there's always going to be, and I was thinking about this today as I was thinking about YouTube, because on the one hand, I find it to be, I don't want to be like, I'm an artist, but I do find it to be a creative pursuit and an artistic pursuit. And I want to make the best possible videos I can and showcase watches, hopefully in interesting ways. But then also something happens when money gets involved, when something becomes your full-time job, and sometimes sacrifices are made. Sometimes you want to make a beautiful, outstanding video on an obscure Parmigiani, but it's like I'll spend 40 hours on that video and I won't see a return, or I'll have to balance it out with top 10 Omega Seamaster Diver 300 references. So my time went in, if that makes sense. And I think it's the same thing with conglomerates. There's always going to be a little bit of a war that's waged when you're creating something beautiful and artistic and meaningful, but then you also have to make money. And if you're a publicly listed company, you also have to appease shareholders, quarterly growth.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. They will, and these things I think will always be at odds with each other. And I think usually quarterly growth wins, which brings me no joy to say.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason that we see launch after launch after launch of, it's almost, there's just too much to take in. There's so much new, new things hitting the market that it's like, it's almost, you get snow blindness from it. You can't sort of wrap your head around one thing before there's the next new thing, and it's just constant.
Yeah, by July, the Watches and Wonders novelties feel old, which is crazy. And one of the things I think so many of us love about watches is that they're slow products, is that they're things that you're not supposed to replace all the time, that you're supposed to keep forever, or love at least for a very, very long time. But the industry's treating it much more like Fashion Week, which is like boom, 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 boom. Okay, where's your spring, summer stuff now? Okay, where's your autumn, winter? And it is exhausting. And I don't know if it suits what watches are meant to be.
But again, is that just because we're in the watch fan, because we're in that sort of echo chamber, because we're seeing things? I guess if you were somebody going out to buy their first really nice wristwatch, you'd got a promotion at work, or you were getting married or something like that, having all that choice is it's a net positive. Whereas for us, it just feels like saturation, I think, market saturation.
Yeah. Anyways, we have more super chat. Thank you so much. $4.99. Just an empty bubble there, but I don't know if you wanted, but thank you so much. We have another super chat. Gareth Curtis, 9665. I'm so sorry, my laptop screen's so small, so I'm reading such small little words. £5. Thank you so much. Going back to the topic at hand, could see an AP Swatch watch being massive, but a pocket watch short-lived hype. Had a pop in the day and loved it.
I had one back in the day as well. I got it one Christmas, and honestly, I was so happy. I got that, and my younger brother got I can't remember what they were called, but basically a Swatch wall clock. So it was the normal Swatches, but the size, it was like, I don't know, 3 feet tall, and you put it on your wall. He got one of those, and I got a pop Swatch.
That's so cool. I want to try to find one of those now. That would be epic.
Yeah, you can probably get them on eBay relatively inexpensively. But yeah, it'd be interesting, Gareth, that whether if it is the pocket watch, they then follow it up with something else. There's precedent set with the Moonswatch, where they just released Moonswatch after Moonswatch after Moonswatch. They've clearly hit onto a good thing. This could very well be the same model, where the pocket watch comes first, and then it's followed up with either a way of adapting it to become a wristwatch, or some sort of wristwatch follow-on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was awesome. We've got more. Original OC. He's back. $9.99. Thank you so much. The feeling is mutual, Britt. Oh, thank you. Great hanging out with you in Geneva. There is no dispute. You are the biggest and best YouTuber in our space. There is so much dispute, but thank you very much. So far from the best, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is our final super chat, guys. We've caught up on them. Super chat, super chat. From the franchise club, $5. Thank you so much. Brit, your super chat smile is priceless. Cheers. Stop it. Thank you. Guys, this has been too much. Thank you so much. Oh
yeah, great chat. It's been really cool.
Do you have any final thoughts before we go here, James? So you do definitely think this is happening. Do you think it's going to be this model, or do you think it's going to be something else?
I'm not convinced it's definitely happening.
What?
I'm not saying it's not, but I remain not skeptical, but 50-50. We'll see.
Oh, I feel strongly that this is definitely happening. They're definitely.
If it does happen, I think it's going to be the other mock-up I've seen, which matches it's got the more Dauphin hands that matches that actual AP that you brought up earlier.
So it's not this one.
Not that. It's a pocket watch still, but it's almost like a bioceramic version of that gold one you brought up. And as soon as you brought that gold one up, I was like, oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if I've seen that mock-up. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's definitely happening. I don't see a world where this isn't happening. Even in the Swatch teasers, for anyone who's on Instagram, they're using the same font. They're trying to make us think it, and it's kind of like this blank. So it's this little banner page where it says Royal, and then it says X Swatch. So it is making me think this is definitely a collaboration piece between two brands. And why not be outside of Swatch Group?
Yeah, because originally we thought it was something Alice in Wonderland, didn't we? And then I speculated that maybe the Royal was, they were teasing the typeface from Audemars Piguet, but it wasn't actually going to be anything to do with the Royal Oak. It was going to be something to do with the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. And I can't even remember now why I thought it was Alice in Wonderland. I think because it said something about Wonderland doesn't just stop in April or something like that. I can't remember now, but yeah, it's going to be interesting though. 16th of May, yeah.
Yes, that's the day.
Saturday, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. Let's do final super chat before we sign off. And it's 1999 from Jack Johnson NY. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so good of you. Guys, this has been crazy. It's been so much fun. For those of you who have been listening since the beginning, I'm so sorry that it messed up at the start. Thank you for following us over to this new stream. I've had a blast, and I'm definitely going to be covering this more. I will be watching this like a hawk. I'm sure Swatch is going to put out so many teasers that we'll be sick of it. James, thank you so much for joining me here tonight and talking about watches. Thank you. Oh, anytime. Thank you to everyone in the chat, and we will see you in the next one. Oh my goodness. They won't let us go. They won't let us go. Gareth Curtis, £5. Thank you so much. On the back of Watches and Wonders, have either of you expressed an interest in anything? This will be a good way to close things out. James, you definitely have expressed interest in something.
Well, yes, I put my name down for the 100-year celebration, the 100-year OP, the two-tone. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Does it have a name? You'll know more than me. No, I also put Brit's name down for the Jubilee dial, fully in the knowledge that in 2 months' time or 6 months' time, she's going to want it anyway. Interestingly, a friend of mine in London did pick up a Jubilee today, so they are hitting the streets earlier than usual. He got a Jubilee motif dial, a 41mm today. He's very happy with it. It looks great, and it will look great on you, Brit, if you get it. Seeing as you didn't get the 36 celebration before it was discontinued, hopefully this one does come in. But speaking to the AD, they said there's been a lot, significantly more interest in the Jubilee motif dial than the two-tone that I put my name down for. So,
but it's so ugly. I don't know. It stresses me out so much. Why? And like, I am fully in the knowledge that this will grow on me and I'll get used to it and then I'll feel really embarrassed and then I'll want it. But right now, how do so many people like it off the jump?
Yeah, because people just have taste and it takes you time. How about you, Gareth? Was there anything you were after?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty stressful. Anyways, yeah, James is just learning from the past when I said, no, the celebration is so stupid. It's so ugly. And then, you know, a year goes by and my mind changes completely. And then I wasn't able to get one. This is our final super chat. And then we're signing off. John, thank you so, so much. $2. Longines has a Submariner and tank. Why not an oak?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? No, I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. We'll keep our eyes on it. Guys, thank you so, so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the speculation. And we'll hopefully keep everyone in the loop. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.